Hey everybody, Joy here. I'm back with Willie upstairs in my house near Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I'm going to show y'all, those of you who care what I'm doing at whatever particular time. I have so many things I want to do and I keep starting things. So I have to stop starting and start finishing. Is where I am. So, you know, I'm making Willie. Let me show him to you in case you don't know. This is Willie. It's what I'm calling him. The quilted scarecrow. And you can see there on the quilt in the picture, the pumpkin. And so the pumpkin is a block. The shoes were a block. His face was a block. His gloves were a block. 2 blocks. The bird was a block. See, so you get the idea. So I'm working on the pumpkin block right now, today. I copied from the book each block's directions. Now some of them have like 5 pages. So this is the pumpkin. And I copied all the pages, and so I can go through and I can put check marks. And I can mark what I've done and mark what I haven't done. And then when I'm done, I just throw the paper away because I'm done with that block. Okay? Because I don't want to mark the book up. The books are so extremely well done. I just hate to make marks in them. And plus, maybe I'll give it away and one of you can have it and then you can use it and the book won't be a mess. But I got the top row done yesterday. And so today I'm going to do the actual pumpkin part. So that's one thing I'm going to finish. Not the quilt, but the pumpkin. Then, you know, I have cut out that, I think it's Vogue 2118, it's in my last couple videos, that 2-piece outfit that I want to make. It's all cut out. I've got the buttons. It's all ready to put together. But when I got back to this house, 3 more patterns arrived that I ordered from simplicity.com because evidently the pattern companies are all going out of business or something. I don't know the details on that. You probably know more than I do. But I keep thinking when they go on sale, I think these were $3.99. That's a good sale price. So I ordered 3. This is just one of them. I don't have the other 2 up here with me. But this is what I want to make first. You know, I like to make dresses for church now. I have to wear prettier shoes than I'm used to wearing. Usually I live in these little sock things. They're not a whole sock, they're like a half a sock, and I wear them all the time. Either that or my bare feet. I just don't like wearing shoes. But you have to wear pretty shoes with a dress. So I have a few. You know, I have the basics. I have a black and a navy and a pink. So I decided, since I have a pink shoe, I'm going to make a pink dress like this one. And I have a pink necklace I made that I've never worn with anything. So I thought, well, maybe if I make some pink clothes, I'll wear the pink necklace. This is New Look 6655. Just super cute. Now, of course, I have to make it fit me. It has bust darts, but it's really cute how they are. The bust darts go from the waist, and the waist is a high waist, which is a good thing because my waist is clear up here. Right here is where my waist is. And the darts come from the waist up. So it's really a cute style. Let me see if I can show you better. Let me see. Maybe you want to make it with me. It has to be a real drapey thing because, you know, I don't like wide skirts. This might not be drapey enough. Maybe it is. This is what I'm going to make it out of. This is a challis. And so it has to be drapey so it hangs close to your body. Oh, so pretty. Is that pretty or what? Oh, where did I get it? Fabric Mart Fabrics. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to show you close up so you can see the cute darts in this dress. And the light is shining bright, and I don't know if it's making a shadow. Let me do like my daughter and put my head down. If it didn't focus, I'll take a picture of it. But super cute. The picture makes it look like the front is open, like from here to here in this drawing, and the back has a zipper. So that's unusual. Is the front open? It is. Did you notice that? The front has like a keyhole opening at the top. Interesting. And then a zipper in the back. Zippers are easy. Zippers are so easy, and it's not lined. So that's not going to be a problem. I will wear a slip with it. Somebody told me they don't make slips anymore. Well, I don't know where that person's been looking, but Amazon has slips, Macy's has slips, Dillard's has slips, Penny's has slips, Walmart has slips. So I don't know. That girl may have been shopping in an anti-slip store or something. There's plenty of slips out there. So working on this, it's my newest attraction to my brain. And the pumpkin and the pink two-piece suit. You know, they've gotten a little bit used to me there now. In fact, we just left the first luncheon that we have been able to attend because we've been gone so much. They have at our church, this is our real church. I mean, I say real church. Our internet church was a real church too, but it was in San Antonio and we weren't. This one's here and we're here, so we actually go to this one. And so today, the first Tuesday of every month, is the senior lunch. And we knew about it since we've been going to this church, but I've never gone to it because I didn't really understand how it would work. They said they supply the main course and you just bring something. Well, if you don't know what the main course is, how do you know what to bring? So I asked one of the girls in the Sunday school class, I said, if I come to it, what would I bring? And she said, oh, just bring something. She said, and don't bring a huge lot of it, just bring a little bowl of it. So I made Jerry's favorite salad. I make it all the time for him. He loves it. I don't make it for here for him. I make it for if we go somewhere for him. Called my 5-cup salad, and it's got pineapple and mandarin oranges in it, and he loves it. And marshmallows and coconut. So I made that, and we took it, and it turned out just to be the funnest hour and a half. There's big round tables. They have this little extra building that's next to the actual church, like a metal building, and it's their activity building or kids building or something. And they have these big round tables in there and about 6 chairs around each table. And so what happens is the men sit with the men and the women sit with the women. And I loved that because I got to talk to the women and I got to know them really well. I'll tell you their names. First there was Melba. Then there was Lynn, then there was Janet, then there was April, then there was Sherry, and then there was me. So that's 6. Yeah, can you believe I remember their names? Now tomorrow, will I remember the names? We'll see if I remember my own by then. So it was wonderful. So the lady that I sat next to has an embroidery machine. She actually has 2 or 3 of them. And she has a 10 needle, like some of you know my friend Becky, Power Tools with Thread, you know her, and she has a 10 needle. And she also has a luminaire, and she's getting the newest Avenir, I think it's called. I'm not getting the newer Baby Lock version, which is called the Radiance. No, that thing's $30,000, and I'm not getting it. So I've got the Solaris, and Melba, of course, knew exactly what the Solaris was. And so we talked about embroidery machines and sewing machines, and then we talked to the other ladies about things. So it was lovely. What did I always complain? I didn't have any friends down there. Then here I feel like I have so many friends. It's very, very nice. So I can't talk to you anymore right now or I won't get anything made. So I'm going to turn off the camera, turn off the light. Oh, in fact, the preacher. What's the preacher's name? Greg Abels. He was at this because he, says the prayer before everybody eats and things. And so at the very, very end, most of the people were gone, and Jerry and I were still there, and the preacher came over and we were talking to the preacher. Well, I've never gotten to talk to him before because after church, everybody wants to talk to the preacher. And so the preacher's never talked to me. He's talked to Jerry, but he's never talked to me. And so I was standing next to Jerry while Jerry was talking to him. And so then I started talking to him. And he said, well, what do you do? And I said, well, I make videos because I need to help pay for that barn. He knows about the barn. He lives close to us, probably not that close, probably 2 miles, you know, down the road and down the road and up a road. But he comes down and goes up and down our road to get where he's going a lot. So he has seen our barn. Jerry had told him when we first started going to the church where we lived. And then the preacher asked him one time, are you building a new barn? And Jerry said, yeah. He said, oh, I know where your house is then. So that's how he knows where we are. So I told the preacher, I said, well, I make YouTube videos. And he said, you do? He said, well, my wife does something like that. She does eBay. I said, well, I don't sell anything. I said, I just make videos. He said, what do you do? And I said, well, nothing really. I just stand there and stare at the camera. I said, I try to do tutorials, but it's really hard for me because, you know, sometimes you need close up, and then you need to back up, and then you need to turn, and then you need to go over here, and then you need to come back, and then you need to show something. I said, I'm a cameraman, and it's really hard for me to do tutorials because of that. And he said, oh, he said, we used to have a big setup for that. They filmed a church service live every morning, evidently. But he said he'd been very involved in making videos in his lifetime, being a preacher. And they used to have a big room for it or something. But he said what you need to do is get 3 cameras. And then you get this little, what should you call it? This little controller device that's close to you, and then you just push a button and it goes to that camera, push a button, it goes to this camera, push a button. I said, well, yes, I understand that. My friend Becky does that, but I said, I'm in a very small bedroom, and just with having the tripod with 3 legs and the 2 lights, each with 3 legs, there's just not room for anything else. And he said to me, he said, if you ever want any help with that, I'll be happy to come help you. So, yay, praise the Lord. I wonder if he wants to be the cameraman. Yes, the preacher in the church. He'd be saying, yes, today we need to pray for this new lady in the church. She really needs prayer, folks. We can't go there. I'll be back. Ta-da! There's the pumpkin. There it is. So underneath the pumpkin is a big water can. So I've got to do the water can. And then over here there's a big tall rake. So tomorrow I think I'll do the water can. And then what would the next day be? Thursday I'll do the rake. And once those 2 things are done, then you start piecing it all together. The leaves aren't where they go. They're just up there, so I don't lose them. So then you start piecing it all together with the leaves. Exciting, exciting. All right, I have to go downstairs now to do my fitting for my new pattern that I showed you a minute ago. So I'm going to take my pretty pink fabric. I'm going to take my new pattern down there. And you know how I do. I cut out the paper. I measure my upper bust. It will be 36. My full bust is 42. That's quite a big difference. A lot of you probably aren't built like me, in that you're just, you know, like somebody could knock on you, you know, and think you were a door up here. And then suddenly, I know, it's very strange. Oh, I have to tell you something. Jerry and I watched a fun series on Prime. And so if you go to Prime, you can find old television stuff to watch. And Jerry and I never, ever, ever watch current television because it's all just trash, won't watch it. And so we're always looking for old things to watch. Well, we found one that was pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good. And we watched the whole thing. We'd watch 3 or 4 a night. And it was called Everwood. Everwood. It's got this actor named Treat Williams in it. And it was good. We enjoyed it. I mean, it has some issues where he can't seem to figure out who he's supposed to love or not love. But anyway, at least it didn't show any naked bodies or any dirty words. So, very, very good. We watched the whole thing. So now we're looking for another one. So we found one called McCloud's Daughters. We watched it for maybe half of the first show. Boring, couldn't stay awake, didn't like it. Found another one, something about sisters, two sisters or something. Didn't like it. Couldn't even watch the first one of it. I got bored. And so last night we saw one called Younger. And it talks about, it's a show about this lady that plays like she's younger because nobody will hire her because she's 40. And her husband left her and she needs a job. So she plays like she's younger. So I thought, well, you know, maybe that'll be decent. We watched, I think we watched 3. And just a little ways through the third one, I said, that's it, I can't stand it anymore, we're not watching it. But I think it was in the second one. This girl that plays like she's 26 instead of 40 gets a job with some kind of company that writes books or publishes books or something like that. And so the 26-year-old gets a job working for a lady that's 40, which she's really 40. And the lady that's 40 is a witch and everybody hates her. So the 26-year-old girl always, and you've seen this kind of show so many times, is like, can't they come up with anything new? Where the new girl that's never done this before has all the good ideas and the boss tells her she's an idiot and that's the stupidest idea she ever had, and then the boss steals the idea and does it herself. So one of the things was, I don't know, maybe this was in another country or something, but evidently there's some day of the year when the girls take off their blouses and they show their chest to everybody and they take videos of it, and there's some channel where everybody shows their, you know, and it faded out all of that. But you could, the girls were naked, and but it faded out that part, thank goodness, so you couldn't see it. And then there was a bunch of girls standing in a line, naked from the chest up, but they all had this big banner in front of theirs, and so they didn't show. So, I go to sleep last night. I evidently slept well for the first time in ages because I had a dream. Well, I dreamt I had to have some surgery of some sort. I don't know if it was, I've been thinking about having surgery on my sinuses. There's these things inside your nose that they can shrink or something. I've decided I don't want it done because you can't breathe out of your nose for like 2 weeks, and I can't deal with that. So, anyway, in the dream, I'm having some kind of surgery, and so they put me to sleep. Well, when I wake up, they've done, I want to call it a FBA full bust adjustment. What do they call it? I don't even know what they call it. When you get them bigger, you know. So I get out of surgery and they tell me that the surgery was done on my chest. I'm trying to say it with nice words. And so I look down at my chest and I suddenly have 3 boobs instead of 2. And this one over here is smashed flat like this pincushion, just like it. Smashed flat, this one. And then there's a little one in the middle. And then this one over here is pointing that direction. I was hysterical. Hysterical. Get me a lawyer. Get me a lawyer. Jerry, I need a lawyer. I'm going to sue this doctor. Who is this doctor? I want his name. I want his address. I want to know where he is. I'm suing him. I did not want this done. I tell you, I have never been so happy to wake up from a dream. I'm like, oh, yay, I'm still here and I'm normal. I know. I'm sorry. You'd like me to talk to you. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I'll be back. So what have I been doing? Have you missed me? I've missed you. I looked last night on my YouTube channel to see if there were any comments, and there were none. Absolutely none. I thought, oh my gosh, I've been completely forgotten. So I thought I'd stop by. I mean, I don't have anything particular to tell you or talk about, But I'm just going to tell you what I've been doing, okay? So yesterday, you know my BFF Philly, which is one of the reasons I'm here in this location, in this house, is she lives close to here. So she came over yesterday and we spent the day together because, I don't know, this probably hasn't ever happened to any of you, but it's happened to me and it's happened to her. Now, she's younger than I am. I never know how old she is. I think, is she 71 or is somebody else 71? I don't know. But she's 70 or 71, and I'm going to be 75 like next week. So we have been sewing together for 20 years, and I don't remember the date that we measured each other last, but maybe 2016, 2017, sometime in there. And we measured ourselves with these 4 papers, these 4 measuring charts. Now your SureFit Designs, I'm going to cover these up because they're so embarrassing. Your SureFit Designs just has 1 page of measurements that it requires. And that's all you really need to start drawing your top, your skirt, your blouse, your dress, your pants, whatever you're getting ready to make. So yesterday, I used my SureFit Designs dress kit, and I'm not an affiliate or anything, but I know you'll ask. This is so old it's completely covered with packing tape because it's falling apart. Dress kit. You use the dress kit to make your tops, or your dresses, or your whatever, okay? So it makes a master pattern. Well, since Billy and I, like I said, we're probably the only ones, our bodies have changed. We are different people. We are walking around in different bodies than we had 10 years ago. It is so sad. And the way I discovered it, the most recent, was I was making that Vogue pattern that I showed you I was going to make. Hold on. So the last time you saw me, I was making this Vogue pattern. And I had the top completely done. I was ready to put buttons and buttonholes in it. And I was making it out of this pretty pink linen blend. The top was sewn beautifully, beautifully, no problems. I had already made a muslin. Remember, I made the purple muslin and wore it to church. And I wore it. It was fine as far as I knew. I think I had put a little more of a round back in it, maybe a 1/4 inch more, thinking, oh, I think I need a little more round back. So I made this whole top, and I just, you see the top I have on, I'm not pulling it forward, I'm not pulling it backward, it's not falling off of me. This fits me. This is a Louise cutting pattern. That blouse just bugged me to no end. It kept going back, and it felt funny on my shoulders. And I thought, what is this weird fabric? What the heck? What is wrong with this? It just doesn't feel right. And I had spent a lot of time making that. And I don't know, it bugged me so much. I thought it had a bunch of wrinkles right here when I put the sleeve in. A bunch of wrinkles right here. Not tucks from putting the sleeve in, just wrinkles. Fat wrinkles. And that usually means a round back. And I thought, well, why would I need a round back? I already added one to this before I put it in the purple one, and I know it's in this one, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's just scratching my head. I was just, So it broke my heart to do this. It really did, because I had bought perfect matching buttons for it. There's no more fabric. It's all gone at Fabric Mart. But I took that blouse and I cut a slice in it across the back. Okay, so did you see that? I just cut it right across the back. And then I just put it back on my body and I let it fall. And look at how far it fell. I needed a whole nother inch of a sway back. I put that in there, pinned that extra fabric in there. It fits me perfect. Absolutely perfect. But I can't wear it anywhere now. You need to do that in your muslin. That's why you make a muslin. And I had made a muslin. Why did the muslin work and that didn't? I can't answer that question. Other than I've been seeing so many doctors and having so many x-rays, and now I'm seeing chiropractors. Maybe my back is, I've been pushed so much and x-rayed so much, maybe I'm built like this now and I don't even know it. Anyway, my friend Philly was having issues. She just made the same exact top. And she was having issues with it. And so one day we were talking and she said, Joy, we need to get together and do that major measuring again. And so the major measuring comes from, and I'm not recommending that you buy this book. You just measure what you need to measure and definitely measure for your round bag. But this book is wonderful. I think it's like $100. It's not a cheap book. But almost all of the ladies that you watch, like Jennifer Stern, and I don't know what other ones, but I know a lot of them have this book. It's like 100 editions. What edition is this one? This is the second edition. I think there's like 6, 7, 8, 9 editions. There's a million editions. But in it, and you see I've got all these paper clips. In it are all these measurement charts. This one is upper torso lengths, just your lengths. The next one is just your arms. Measure your arms. Gives you all the different ways to measure your arms. There's 5 sheets and it doesn't look like I have 5 of them marked. Here is lower torso lengths and here is lower torso widths. So, there's 5 different pages. Did I give you upper torso? Let me see. No. I gave you upper torso lengths, upper torso widths. So Philly and I make copies of these pages. And then we measure each other. And it is extensive. And you need to plan a day for it. And you need to have a friend. And you need to have some tape. And you need to have, sticky tape. And you need to put on your shoulders. You need to have elastic band to put around your high hip, your low hip, your waist. I have a high waist and a low waist and a no waist. And Philly has one absolutely wonderful waist. One thing Philly is that I'm not is she's straight. She's the same on both sides. She is so much easier to measure because everything you measure on me comes out a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch different from one side to the other side. And I keep saying, measure me again, measure me again, measure me again. So anyway, we have our measurements. Thank goodness I can't find my measurement papers from 10 years ago because then you just have to sit and cry. But because of this, and she probably did the same thing yesterday. We did this the day before yesterday. So we redid our Sure Fit Designs measurements, which are, oh my. Anyway, then we decided to redraw our master pattern. So this right here, you probably can't see it, but this is this is written in pencil, and this is my new master front bodice for my Sure Fit Designs. Okay, my apex is still in the same place from center front and from my shoulder, so I was glad about that. Somewhere in the same bra I wore 10 years ago probably. And I'm using, between my high and low waist is where I like my blouse to be. Otherwise, the waist would be way up here. This is the bust dart right here, and my waist is like right here. And my belly button waist is actually here, but I'm using above my belly button waist because this is a top. Nobody knows inside this top where my waist is. So I can put it wherever I want to. Insofar as my pattern. So where I come in, and I mean, remember the day when here was your bust and you came in like this and your waist was in here, and then you went out like that and that was your hip. Well, those days are over. So now I come in such a tiny bit, I might as well just make it straight the whole way down. I am small up here though. I'm still small up here at the top from here to here. So today I'm going to do the back. I did the front yesterday. I'm going to do the back today. And then, of course, I'm going to cut out a new garment. Probably a dress. Because yesterday I got 4 new pieces of fabric from Fabric Mart Fabrics. And are they ever pretty? You want to see them? Alright, hold on. They might still have some of these. I just got them yesterday. They still have the stickers on them because I haven't washed them yet. So I'm going to tell you the number. If you happen to love these, you can go to Fabric Mart Fabrics and look up these numbers, okay? This is called SFD. Isn't that a funny one? It's like Sure Fit Designs. But it's not. Totally not at all. SFD 3311. Isn't that pretty? Huh? Super, super pretty. Oh, I just really, really like blues. My mom told me when I was a little baby, she always dressed me in blues because I didn't look good in pink. Alright, here's the next one. This one's like red and burgundy with white flowers, and the center of all the flowers is black. And it is super cute. These are all, by the way, chalets. See, so pretend it's a dress. I did this with my sister on video yesterday. My sister Janice had her colors done years ago. I don't know how many years ago. But they made her the little book with all the little colors in it. And we're the same. We're both winters. This is UJ, like joy, A, 7963R. I don't know what that R is doing there. Maybe it goes with it, maybe it doesn't. But there's a little R after it. UJA. And it's another chalet. 54 inches wide. Super pretty. So anyway, she came over Sunday. Okay, so this is my favorite. This is my very favorite. Another chalet. See? Isn't it nice? Are you ever going to finish telling your story? Yeah, and amazingly, I actually remember what I'm telling you. ULD. U-L like lazy, D like daisy, 7890, and another R. Chalet. Oh, isn't that just so pretty? So anyway, my sister has had this little wallet that had all of her little colors in it. Her little cutouts of all the different colors of fabric, and they have them in this little wallet thing. She gave it to me. She said, you have to take this. I want to give you something and you have to take it. So I've always wanted to have that done, but I just bought the book and I went by the book. But I am telling you, it is so much fun to take that little book, and the colors are actually really good on my laptop from Fabric Mart Fabrics. They match really good on the screen, and then when I got them, they were really the right color, so I was excited. So I picked all of these using that little book she gave me, that little wallet. But isn't this one cute? Super cute. If I can figure out how to hold it, I'll show it to you. Don't you think she's just a little odd, Frank? All right. Frankly, yes I do. Aren't they pretty? They'll all be dresses. Yeah, they're too pretty to make a blouse out of. I hope that spider's not crawling around here. So this one, super cute. Hold them up, Joy, so we can see them. You can go to fabricmartfabrics.com, and if they still have it, you can look at them real close. This one is UIA 7902. Chalet. Oh, they are so soft and so drapey. Oh, lovely, lovely chalet. I haven't sewn with a lot of chalet until recently, and boy, I really like it. Okay, so that's my new fabrics that I'm going to use my new wider, rounder pattern to make. How do you find out what your round back is? I'm trying to think of how to show you. Let me see. Let's pretend that this is you and this is your back. And this is your belly. And this is your head. And this is your waist. Okay? I wish I had something bigger. Bigger. What do I have that's bigger? Bigger circle. Hold on. My lightning fast mind is trying to figure it out. What could we use, Sue? A pillow! Oh, I heard, thank you. Yes, a pillow. Hold on. All right, so we're going to talk round back. You probably have one. Everybody seems to have one. I don't think I've ever seen Peggy fit somebody that didn't have a round back. Even children have round backs now because of cell phones and computers. We need to figure out how to use those things and not get round. So I made this pillow with my embroidery machine, applique, and my laundry basket fabrics. Okay, so pretend like this is your back. Your head's cut off, and you're cut off at the waist, okay? So this is you from here to here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your back, and you're going to look at it sideways. And you're going to have somebody do this because you can't do it yourself. You're going to look at it sideways, and you're going to think, where is this person round? Well, obviously this person's round the whole way up and down. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a soft measuring tape, and you're going to measure close, touching, down to where the curve stops. I'm just going to go to the seam line in this case. 16 inches. Okay? So when I measure the roundness of this pillow, it's 16 inches. Now, how do I know how much round back I need? I don't know a thing yet. So the next thing you have to do is figure out here, straight up and down, what is the measurement, okay? And the only way you can measure that is with 2 rulers. I'll show you how to do that. Hold on. Now for your body, you need big rulers, long rulers, wide rulers. You need big rulers, but they got to be hard. Hard, not the slap down kind, hard ones. So what you do is you'll hold the ruler out here straight, 90 degrees, to the top of your round part, wherever you started. We started at the top here, and we went all the way to the table. See, that one's not long enough. Then you take another ruler, and you measure it. Are we at 1 down there? So you want to find out what your straight measurement is, and it's 12. The straight measurement from here, say this was somebody's back, from their neck to their waist. Now, you may just need to measure for Philly. Philly's roundness is all up here. It's all right up here on her neck. So I only measure her like about 6 inches. But on me, we have to come down to below my bra. So it depends on where your roundness is, okay? So we measured 12 and 17. So how much of a round back would you need? Huh? If you can take 17 and minus 12, you'll have your answer. This poor lady needs a 5-inch round back. Philly, on me, I think she came up with 2.5 inches for my round back, but I knew that just couldn't be right. It just couldn't be right. She measured me all the way to my waist. And I'm not really round all the way to my waist. I actually cave in right here at my waist, and I go in the other direction. Jerry measured me later from the top of the, your bone, my bone there, to underneath my bra. And he came up with 1.5 inches. And 1.5 inches matches that pink blouse that I made. So I'm starting with 1.5 inches. What was I using? I was using 5/8 inch for the last 10 years, 5/8 inch. And I need 1.5 inches. So some things seem to fit fine. I don't know why. Maybe it was the style, I don't know, but boy, lately. And of course, I've had all of these back issues lately, About, what's it been now, 6 months ago? I took a step and I had horrible shooting, terrible pain in my back. I couldn't even step because taking a step caused so much pain. My husband and my nephew had to carry me in the house. And so I've been seeing doctors, been being x-rayed, and I'm much, much better. Went to physical therapy. Went to a chiropractor because my brother said I needed one, my nephew said I needed one, my niece said I needed one. We don't like chiropractors. We've had very, very bad luck. Bad experiences, I should say. Didn't have anything to do with luck. With chiropractors. My mother had one, always, and she loved her chiropractor. But I went to one when I was in Edmond. I don't remember. I hurt myself for a while up there. I don't remember what I did. And he was a kook. He was a total kook. He hurt Jerry. Jerry had that big tumor on his spine, and that guy broke his back. Jerry was in so much pain when he left there, and he just was crazy. Pardon that runny nose break. So my daughter went to him. We were all in Edmond then. She called me up. She said, "Mother, that man is absolutely crazy. He said, he treated me like I was the Queen of England and told me that my mother came there and he was just so honored. I mean, this guy takes your hand, kisses your hand, tells you how honored he is that you're there. And then when he gets done with you, he tells you need to come back 500 times. So anyway, we didn't like him at all. And so then I tried one here that was recommended several weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm not even going to go into that because she's really good friends with my niece and I don't want to say anything bad. It was a woman. She was a nice woman. I could be friends with her, but I didn't care for her chiropractic skills. So let's just leave it at that, and neither did Jerry. So then my brother had told me, he's the one that insisted that I see a chiropractor several months ago. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to see one. We don't like them. We've had bad experiences. And he said, Joy, there's bad doctors, there's good doctors. Just because there's bad ones doesn't mean there's not good ones. So after we saw this first lady, I remember James telling me that. And while we were going to her and coming back home, we passed this place called Jolly Chiropractic. Now you may not remember, but I had a very good friend for years. Her name was Margaret Jolly, spelled the same way, Jolly. And so I thought, maybe he's a relative of Margaret's. Not, he's not. So anyway, when Jerry and I were very unhappy with the first one we went to, I said, why don't we try that Jolly one? I said, I looked him up online, has great reviews, everybody loves him. He does all the things that we want him. He talks to you, he shows you the x-ray, he tells you what's wrong with you, he tells you how he's going to treat you, he tells you what he's going to do to you to fix you, all of these things. So we went to him. Oh my goodness. I liked him from hello. I liked him before hello. Cutest guy. Oh my goodness. He works out and he's got muscles on top of muscles. No tattoos. Hold on. Since antihistamines and Benadryl being at the top of the list cause dementia, I'm trying to just live with allergies and not do anything about them. Okay, so it's another reason it's hard for me to make videos. So anyway, we went to see this man. Jerry went first. He said, Joy, I really like him. You've got to try him. So I went second. And when I went with him the second time, he treated us both together, talked to us both together, we went in the room both together. He was friendly, happy. He liked me. So many doctors don't like me because I'll tell them right away that I don't want to take any prescription drugs. I don't want to have any more x-rays. I've had bad experiences, and most doctors are like, get her out of here, I can't stand her. I'm serious, I've been fired by doctors, and I'm not kidding. But this guy thought I was fun. He thought I was fun. Not only that, he totally agreed with me. And so he has been wonderful. Totally, 100% different than the other lady that we went to. So we are very happy. Plus, the first lady charged us $60 every time we came. This guy doesn't charge us a penny. And that lady kept putting us on these tables, and the one table made all kinds of noise. It needed to be fixed or oiled or something, and nobody adjusted it, and it was way too high to curve, and it would go up and down and up, and it was way too high for Jerry, and it hurt him. And no, they just leave the room. They put you on the table. They put me on the table and just left the room. I didn't know what the table did. I didn't know why. I thought the chiropractor would come in and start pushing on my bones or something. No, never showed up. Never spoke, never anything. And finally, I'm screaming, hello, hello, something's wrong with this table. It's moving. It was a different table. So it was just awful. Anyhow, this guy doesn't charge us a penny. We're going 3 times a week for 3 weeks. And then in between that, Jerry's seeing a physical therapist and I need to see one. So it's hard to make videos. It's not so hard for me to stand here and talk to you, but to take the camera off, go upstairs, cut out all the times I blow my nose, cut out all the times I sneeze, cut out all the times I have to go to the bathroom, cut out all the times Jerry comes in here That's what takes so long. Not that I don't enjoy doing them, because I truly do. So, I'm going to draw the back of my SureFit Designs. Now this one has no seam allowances on it yet. What I want to do is draw this on the poster board, you know, like I did before. And then I can just trace it. And then anytime I want to make a new style, I'll just trace a new paper like this, cut it up into the style I want, and then add the seam allowances. And that's probably what I'll do this time. We'll see. But how fun to make your own clothes. Another video. I know, have I ever made a video when I didn't say Peggy in it? Probably not. But I want you to look at this video. It's kind of like the last one I told you to watch. It was this week, so it was Tuesday night, and I don't have a calendar in here. What is this day? I don't have a phone, a calendar, anything. I think today's the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th of July 2025, something in there. So it may have been the 15th or 16th. It was a Tuesday night, and it was Peggy Sager's. You look her up on YouTube, Silhouette Patterns. Silhouette Patterns. And look for her lives and look for that date. You will be amazed at what you learn. It's called The Magic of One. I think that's what she named it, The Magic of One. And she shows you these simple, plain garments I could make in a couple hours easily, maybe less, over $1,000. It's shocking. So she shows you, this is all you have to do. Do this. Instead of $1,000, it'll be $2,000. It's very, to me, because I don't go shopping. I never go to the stores. I don't like malls anymore, and I never go shopping unless it's online. So I don't see what's in the stores. So I like that she goes there and she takes these pictures and she shows you how much they cost. I mean, it's just beyond belief. I may need to start insuring my clothes. Alright, I'll let you go for now. I'll be back after a while. So this is a long time after the clip you just watched. You know, we go back and forth between two houses now. And I don't like to take my camera from here to there and my camera from there to here. I try to keep them separate. Otherwise, I'll leave them both at one house and I'll have no camera. So I was showing you I was going to make a new pattern that I bought. And I worked on it for days and days and days. My husband's out here working. Let me close the door. I actually worked on that pattern for days and days and days. And if I remember right, I had a lining. I don't recall, because, you know, I've slept like 3 months since then. I don't remember what happened, but it didn't work out. Now, since then, and now somebody asked me the pattern I used to make my tank tops. And I told you I've made it a dozen times. Look at this thing. It has so much tape, so much paper. And Peggy Sagers, this is her pattern. She has BCD bust sizing, but even that required a full bust adjustment on this tank top. I need to draw another one of these on some good paper. Maybe, oh, I think I actually did. Hold on. I actually did do that. You know, if I could remember what I do from 1 minute to the next, it would sure be nice. So here it is on poster board. Very, very nice. But I recently had Philly measure me, and I have a rounder back now. So I need 1.5 inches round back. And this pattern only had like 3/4 of an inch. So I have added a little more round back. It's going to be in a knit, so it doesn't need a bunch of round back, because knit stretches. So the front hasn't changed at all. The back has changed a little. Let's put it up to it and see how much it's changed. I'm telling you, I used my patterns. Look here. So I took the sway back out. What'd you do that for, Joy? When you put a sway back in, when you put an FBA in, when you put anything in, it changes the sides and the bottoms and everything. So I pulled the sway back down, because I need the extra length, and that's one way to get it. And since this is a knit, it's not going to matter. It's going to make the bottom hem come out where it should be. Sway back you need if you have a very fitted garment and if your seam pulls forward. I don't think I'm going to have that problem. We'll find out. So I have a new back now, so I'll have to draw a new cardboard back. The round back changed this on the side. It's amazing how much it changes. So I'll make it up, and if it comes out perfect, I'll draw a new cardboard. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, because my pattern is literally just in shreds. It's held together with Scotch tape. So if you have a pattern you really like, get you some of this. What did we pay for it? Billy and I found it for like 99 cents at Hobby Lobby. And I bought 4 or 5 different colors. Oh, it's so pretty. Well, this is the pattern. Very simple. Now, somebody said, what pattern is it? Well, it used to be this pattern. Number 500. Tank top, pleated top. I've never made the pleated version. She doesn't have this pattern anymore. She's changed it. And she has made it a different pattern envelope now, and she has put it in her Fit to Stitch website. She has a television show on OETA, and she makes up a new series every year, and she has to make money in order to, evidently you have to pay PBS, they don't pay you. And so she collects money, and so she's put a lot of her patterns over there. So this is one of them, and it won't be 500 anymore, but you'll see it over there if you go to Fit to Stitch. And she shows you several versions, and very, very Peggy. You know, Peggy is not into perfection. Far from it. There is a top on that pattern, I probably have it here somewhere, where there's pearls. She's put a pleat and a pearl and a pleat and a pearl and a pleat and a pearl. There's actually one completely missing. It's fallen off or something. She took a picture of it anyway and put it on the front of the pattern. It just blows my mind. I couldn't sleep at night if anything like that happened to me. So I'm going to cut this out because I want to wear it to church tomorrow. You can see it's 2 pieces. Peggy's seam allowances are 3/8 inch. So all you do is fold the top 3/8 inch, sew it, fold the sleeves over 3/8 inch, sew them, and that's how you finish them. Okay, I'm going to try to put an end to this video I'm making for you. I think I was showing you how I was making Peggy's tank top in the last clip. It's been a couple days since then. Yesterday was my birthday, so I didn't do any videoing or sewing or anything yesterday. We actually went, my birthday request was to buy some furniture for my big sewing room at the other house. I get a lot of complaints about the echoes and the sound in that room. And the reason there's so many echoes is because I moved my long arm out of there and most of my sewing tables. So there's just a great big vast empty space in there. So I requested from my husband, who at first said absolutely no way, that I could get some furniture, you know, like a couch and a love seat or something to put in there. So finally he said, okay. So we went yesterday, and oh my goodness, my way to pick furniture, it's not his way. My way is to sit in it and feel what it feels like. So I sat in number 1, sat in a bunch of them that they are so wide from the front to the back that you got to have half a dozen pillows. Some of them come with half a dozen pillows. I told the guy, I don't want pillows. I just want the chair to be the chair and already have the stuffing in it. I don't want to have to use loose pillows. And he's like, oh, well, what are we going to do? You know, salesman. So, as Jerry and he ended up going somewhere to look for something, and I was just going around sitting in the chairs. And I sat in this one chair. Oh, I tell you. First of all, my very favorite is a rocker or a glider, and it's a great big puffy. It's 3 times the size of this thing. Great big puffy arms and a puffy back, and it's got a little thing down here that there's a button on the side and you can push it and it'll blow up and it'll fill in your back. Oh my goodness. The feet come up, but when you use it as a glider, you know, you just, oh, it was just wonderful. The back of it, where it's supposed to hit your head, usually it hits me at the top of my head. All the cars do. And this one just fit right in the crook of my neck, and oh, it was so wonderful. Well, Jerry looked at it, and it was a color like this mirror, actually. It was like the color of this. This is called coconut. And it had top stitching on it, and the top stitching was dark brown. I didn't care about that. Most of it was white and had this top stitching. Well, unbeknownst to me, because Jerry never says anything at the store, he was standing here like this, and he was all mad, and he wouldn't even sit in the chair and try it, and I was so furious with him. And so we get home, and he tells me that some of the top stitching was crooked. Oh, I said, why didn't you just say so? I don't care. We'll buy one where the top stitching's straight. Anyway, I want that chair. So you all watch and see if I get it or not, okay? So that was my birthday present. We got home and he said, oh, we'll go to the store, we'll have them open the thing, we'll look at it, make sure the top stitching. You think I'm a perfectionist. Oh, don't hold a candle to him. Okay, so here's the deal next deal. I was making this the other day to go with that. I don't even know if I showed it to you. My friend Jeffrey in California sent me some real pretty fabric years ago, and I made I don't know what it's called. Janice, my sister, said, well, it's a jacket. I said, oh, I know, but there's another name for it, but I don't remember what it is. The pattern was called a different name, not a moo-moo or a, oh my goodness. Hopefully it'll come to me and I'll put it here or here and tell you what pattern it was, okay? So I needed something to wear under it because it had black pants and that was mostly black with the real pretty flowers. I got so many compliments on it actually. On it, not this. So this is what I was making. And since Philly and I just measured each other and I came up with a rounder back and a 1/2 inch wider on the sides and in the hips, you know, I just assumed I was as big as Texas. You know, I was already as big as Oklahoma, so now I figured I was as big as Texas. So I made this top, and it's a knit for heaven's sakes, and it stretches. And I told you I've made it a dozen times, and they all fit me. It doesn't stretch that much, does it? Yeah, it doesn't stretch way much. So, and yes, I put it on, took it off, put it on, took it off. But anyway, I decided yesterday or the day I got home from church, I could put it on over this top I have on, no problem. I decided it's way too hot for me. Look. So it is going to the repair shop today, and I'm going to take it in down both sides at least 1/2 inch because I just got carried away thinking I'm way bigger than I am. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Two things. You see these young people wearing all kinds of tops together. They got 5 straps going across and some falling down. 3 different color tops. The color, isn't the color just wonderful? My sister loved the color. Oh, now it's okay, you know, it's okay. I can wear it. I wore it, but I had the jacket over it, of course. But I'm just going to take it in a little bit. And so the poster board version of what I made in the past, I'm not going to change it. I thought, oh, I need to change that and make it wider. I don't. I'm leaving it the way it is. And so when I want to make my next one of these, why is it called a tank top? Who came up with a tank top? Did they originally put it on tanks or what? I don't understand that. But, oh, yeah, it's silhouette patterns, tank top. And I'm sure I already told you all of that. And I'll put it below, too. I don't know her new number for it. I'll have to look that up for you. But, oh, my goodness. Look at the back. Yeah. Look at the back. And, of course, it makes a difference if there's a sleeve in it. Also, it's lower in the back. And so when it's lower in the back, you don't need as much round back because it doesn't go up to your roundness as much. Remember I told you that? So, oh, the back looks so nice. So I wanted to show you this so I could have an end to my video. I'm in the other room working on Willie, the scarecrow, and I'm working on that star block that goes on the milk can. Oh, I hate that block. It's got 1,000 seams behind it, and I pressed most of them open, but some of them they said to press this way or that way, and oh my goodness. It's like putting a very hard puzzle together. That one little star block. I'll be so glad to get it done. And then I'm going to finish the milk can and then the rake. So I have to go, but I'll be back as soon as I have something else to show you. Bye for now.